Junkie Nation, it's time to roll, baby, on MMA Junkie Radio with gorgeous George and Goze. This is what we do and why we do it, baby. All night long, we rollin'! Yeah!
The MMA Junkie Radio revolution is upon us.
Can you dig it?
There's no escape. No escape. Through the vast frontier of cyberspace and through a sea of stars in outer space.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We've solidified our combat communication stranglehold.
We are controlling transmission.
With the use of MMA Junkie Radio and SiriusXM satellite radio technology. MMA Junkie Radio. Commence transmission. Live from MMA Junkie Radio HQ in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Here are your hosts, Gorgeous George and
From
Goze.
the fight capital of the world, inside the beautiful Mandalay Bay Racing Sportsbook, you are listening to MMA Junkie Radio. I'm your host, Gorgeous George. With me, as always, is the devious and dastardly Goze, our co-host. Back east, handling all the producing duties, it's going to be Danny. What's up,
man,
fellas?
You've got some balls. You just
Look
got a
up.
brand new computer, and you just tossed a water bottle right over it and fair caught it.
Yeah. It's not my dream computer. I had to settle for this computer. Laptop. When I walked out, I it's like I walked out, I went to go buy a BMW 7 Series. There you go. That way I don't hurt anybody's feelings. If I would have went down the route of Chevrolet or Ford or, another popular brand maker, I think I would have offended somebody. But I went in to get a 7 Series, and I walked out with maybe even that little 1 Series, I guess.
No.
Yeah, because
you got like a 3 Series, I think.
Well, the 17-inch doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
So the 15 PowerBook would have been the best, I guess, you can get. Then there was the 13 PowerBook. And then there was, I guess it was a 3 Series I walked out with.
But to be fair, when you walked into the lot and they go, "What do you like to do, champ?" You just said, I just go to the movies and shop.
I didn't say that I
They
needed
were
all the performance
Yeah,
that
you were
comes
like,
with
I'm
the
picking
7
up the
Series.
boys and we're going racing this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I love how BMW does that. In a way, it's kind of brilliant and sad at the same time because they make it so that you should be happy if you get a BMW, right? If you get a 3 Series, you should be like, check it out. I'm in a nice car. But then you got to deal with that jerk that goes, couldn't afford the 5 Series, huh? And then that guy's got to deal with,
The 7 Series?
7 Series out of your range, huh, pal?
There's 2 cars I can never get for the rest of my life. One's the Nissan Sentra, and the other one's the BMW 3 Series. And
you can never get those?
I can never get those. It's no offense to the cars. The cars have evolved, especially the Sentra. But I had a buddy that had a Sentra, and he got a base model, but put rims on it and did all these things. But I remember when we'd go to parties. This is in our late teens, first wave of cars. One guy goes, "Man, you could put whatever the hell you want, whatever radio system you want. That's bullshit. Still a Sentra." And everyone laughed. And it was one of those where you kind of fell and you dropped your beer and you rolled around. We all dogpiled on each other. And the dude was like, "Oh, bitch," like that type of thing. So like, we bagged on him so much that it stayed with me. Like, man, the other one, and below the Sentra, there's a Versa. I've rented that car, and I was driving it once with Jules. I think it was in Tennessee. You always put the cheapest compact. I'm just driving it from the airport to stand-up's house. As I was driving, I'm like, damn, good gas mileage. I'm good.
Not bad, huh?
Yeah,
These lower-lying
I
cars
should just
now?
roll with this. And all our family in Peru and Brazil, because over there, people don't really roll in big cars, and sports utility vehicles or nothing like that. So over there, it's premium. Parking's a premium. So you want something compact. Nobody cares. Everyone piles into a car. Nobody asks you what kind of watch you wear or kind of clothes you're wearing. kind of car you drive? That nobody cares about materialistic stuff over there. So I've become a little bit immune, but still, just the Sentra. I just remember all those bags, man. That psychologically is like within me.
Yeah.
That I probably just wouldn't do it just because of that. Because there's so many other cars available, and again, I know
I
it's
was like
a fun
that
car.
with shoes.
The 3 Series was, a buddy got a 3 Series once. He was so happy. He was out of college. It was a sharp car. We all went to lunch. We were in it. But around that time, Big Ralph got his 5 Series. And we were all walking out of a happy hour or something like that. And as we were all walking out, he just goes, everybody was kind of chirping their alarm or whatever. And, once the drinks are flowing, once again, the asshole comes out and everyone, and he's like, "Well, that's cool. Is that your sister's car? She let you borrow it."
Those are the worst.
One of those things. And, oh, man, what are you talking about? It's a nice car. Yeah, well, no, the 3 Series is more for girls, and the Jetta is more for girls, and blah, blah, blah. And, so, just being silly here, obviously. But, yeah, probably for those 2 reasons, that's why I would probably never get those 2.
That situation for me comes up in my stomach
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to be the guy that has to, I don't want him to have to look up and go, "Oh, okay, I see you now."
Mm-hmm.
I want to be the guy down there.
Right.
So I hate it, and there's times where we are up in the rafters or something, and
Right.
sure enough, the guy's looking up, and you got to
They're
go.
waving.
You go like this with a dumb look on your face.
Like
It's
Lorenzo, the
me.
bus driver on Bronx Tale?
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny stuff. Fun show today. We have Stipe Miocic, the UFC heavyweight champion, joining us at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 10:30 a.m. Pacific. After that, we'll talk to comedian Joey Diaz. Joey Diaz at Mad Flavor, the host of the Church of What's Happening Now. He's going to give us some picks for UFC 206 happening this weekend in Toronto, Canada. I saw the first 2 embeddeds, by the way. Interesting stuff. They followed Brown, Max Holloway, Anthony Pettis, and Cowboy. Cowboy's in Cabo San Lucas. And I don't know about that makeup anymore. Is he still rocking the makeup? Who knows what the truth is there? Even people on Embedded are speculating. But he was in Cabo San Lucas finishing up his camp, and he's going from 80-degree sunshine to the cold in Toronto. Mola Wall will join us in the second hour. Kimg Mo headlining Bellator 168 out in Dublin, Ireland. 167 goes? 168.
I think it's 8.
I think it's 169.
9.
Yeah, we're
Really?
both wrong.
Oh, because
Because next week's there's one.
Yeah, yeah.
It was 66 and 67 this past weekend, and they have one coming up this weekend and then the following weekend. So we're still a week away from Mo's fight out in Dublin, Ireland. We'll talk to him. He's facing Satoshi Ishii. Gegard Mousasi said he would advise Satoshi Ishii not to go to the UFC.
Really?
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, the resentment that a lot of fighters have towards that organization is astonishing. It just keeps mounting and mounting. Lastly, we'll finish with Sammy the Squid and Jordan from Denver. We're going to do an early version of Beat the Squid because we're off tomorrow and Friday. We made an announcement yesterday that we'll be visiting Joint Base Langley Eustis in Virginia. So we will be gone for a couple days, and we'll be on a trip to visit our military at those dual bases. It's an Air Force and Army base. We'll be joined by MMA fighters Ben Rothwell, Lorenz Larkin, Valentina Shevchenko, and legendary boxing and MMA cut man Stitch Duran. So that fight's official. It's her and Juliana Pena. Pena was not wanting to take a fight, and 207 of Nunez and in our sport, Georges St Piere, 2:40 p.m. Eastern Time. He's bringing a buddy. His buddy's name is Cain Velasquez, former UFC heavyweight. We'll be talking to Cain and GSP about the MMAAA, which stands for the Mixed Martial Arts Athlete Association. I guess those are 2 of the five founding fathers, along with their advisor Bjorn Rebney, and also pick Cain's thoughts on his upcoming fight. He's not fighting. Formed, and that was Fabricio Verdum. He was a stud.
But what happened when they went back? Right? When all those guys went back, it wasn't as bad as the first time, which means fighters learned a lesson.
Are adjusting.
So
yeah, they
that is kind of
better
ridiculous because it's not like that was news that was broken just that card.
Mm-hmm.
They knew that going in. It means that fighters didn't take it as serious the first time.
Yeah, it's been over a year too.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that just hurts knowing his coach Javier Mendez told him, "Let's go out there sooner," and he goes, "No, I don't want to go out. A week's fine." Javier Mendez convinced Cain to go out 2 weeks in advance. That's still not the end of the world, but compared to Fabricio, 2 months, there was just a more prepared fighter for that environment. It's not just the lack of oxygen; it's the air quality, the nutrition. There's not really much jet lag. I mean, they're only 2 hours ahead, so I think it more has to do with air quality and oxygen. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that decision to just stay back may have cost them. I don't know, because the other guy still threw punches, so whether it's in thin air or not, and they land, you could still be toast. And I'm sure Fabricio Verdum is anxious to answer those questions. The rankings came out, the latest rankings for USA Today Sports and MMAjunkie. Mighty Mouse stays firm as the world's best fighter in our pound for pound, and he's still atop the flyweight division. Little movement towards the bottom. So if you want to check it out, check out the rankings, and you can check out the drop downs on all the divisions we have. Sarah McMahon went up, Alexis Davis went down. You know, movements that basically correlated with what happened at Bellator 166, 67, and Tough 24 finale. We invite you to call in and participate during the show, 866-522-2846. Let me slow down. 866-522-2846. Sometimes other hosts say it's so fast. Even I'm trying to get in there and call. And or maybe send a retweet for another show. And sometimes they blow through it so fast I have to wait until the next time they say it. 866-522-2846. Our producer Danny will patch you in. We have a lot of guests, but we'll still have some pockets. For example, Showtime's already on hold. Let's get to this call right now, and then we'll keep telling you about the latest news before we get to Stipe Miocic, UFC heavyweight. What's up, Showtime?
What's going on, fellas?
How you doing?
What up?
Hey, you bust my balls, GG, talking about that Nissan Sentra, man. That was my first car, man. My my mom gave it to me, man. I think, you know what? I wasn't even old enough to drive, to be honest. I think I was maybe 14 or 15. I know I didn't have my driver's license yet, but I was going to a school that was out of my area where I live, so I had to drive back and forth to school. So she had just bought her a new Maxima, and she gave me the little red Sentra, 85 Sentra, man.
Yeah, I don't know. We just kind of everybody was sitting around bagging. I had a 1992 Acura Integra. My buddy had a Honda Prelude, and that guy wound up with a Sentra, and it was nice. He was really meticulous with it. It was sharp looking. It was always waxed and cool and had wheels. But I guess because he spent a little less than we did, he just happened to be the brunt one day, and he just got piled on. I remember, I think it was Woody that told him, "Man, that's just a shoebox with wheels." Just because it was perfectly square, you know. That's another thing that he had was it was perfectly square, and at the time, I think the more angled cars were in. Who knows? But yeah, whatever. What are you gonna do?
That's funny. Hey, I can remember I put 2 Pile Driver 15s in a box in the trunk, man, and somebody stole them. I didn't have them in there 2 weeks, and somebody stole them.
Really? Wow.
Wow. Yeah,
that's
man.
funny.
Man, real funny, man. Hey, I didn't get a chance to call in and talk about the Mighty Mouse fight, man, but you know what? The thing that kind of gets me, man, with fighting, it's like Mighty Mouse is fighting the guy basically that's, you know, much bigger than him. You know, this guy probably should be fighting up two weight classes up. And he was tough to, you know, to weather the storm in that first round and basically dominate the rest of the fight. So I think that speaks to how tough Mighty Mouse is. I mean, even though this guy Kennedy, we got to give him his credit. He tough as hell. He messed up my parlay because I had Mighty Mouse would finish it.
Oh, wow. Well, all right. I will say this. I read a little bit more on Elliott, and he is going up. Not 2 divisions, but 1. But I get it. He's taller, and Mighty Mouse is a little shorter. But it's 1 division, and I think those 10 pounds will mean the difference. But yeah, Goze, he did not want to go back in there. I read into that story. James Krause's coach shoved him back in there. And so after the first round, his muscles just weren't doing what his body wanted him to do. They were shutting down. He still gutted 20 minutes with pound for pound the number 1 guy out there. Just goes to show you what an effort Tim Elliott put. But his first round was basically it. That was the load. That was the money shot right there. And he went, guns a-blazing, almost got a submission, but didn't work out.
Yeah, that was his one shot. I mean, you got to give it everything you have, and props to James Krause because he probably knows him well. They're also friends, so he probably knew how far he could push it and what he needed to do. And not every coach can do that. Not every coach has the whereabouts to make that type of decision. What's insane for me about Demetrius Johnson is anytime you get an athlete that has a lot of success like that where they're dominating, they tend to get lazy.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll have that one fight where you go, this isn't the best blank, right?
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't had that yet. Somehow he finds this motivation to push himself over and over and over, and I just don't get it. I wouldn't blame him if he became that lazy guy where he just goes, I have so much natural talent, I got this.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I may have jumped the gun when I asked you, is he the greatest ever? The career needs to define itself, and now it's turning out that the exit is going to be just as important. GSP's exit. Him and Anderson Silva were like that 1-2, 2-1. John Jones was creeping into the equation as well. But GSP's exit is, if that was his last fight against Hendricks, will be one of the best to solidify, to put a stamp on a great career. Whereas Anderson, he's dropped a few fights. Mm-hmm. He's dropped a couple to Chris Weidman and then the one to Michael Bisping. And yeah, we remember how great he was, but if he's still currently fighting, he's adding to it. Doesn't mean that he's not going to be regarded as a great, but I think Demetrius Johnson, more chapters need to be written. But right now, walking this planet, pound for pound, he seems to be the best, at least in my eyes.
When it comes to GSP, though, and you're breaking him down, you never say, well, yeah, he was great, but he never fought blank.
Mm-hmm.
Because he fought all the best options that were there in his time. And you could even say that guys from other organizations came in, right? Because you could even say, hey, man, I faced Shields. Shields came over from Strikeforce. I mean, he dominated so many fighters, great fighters.
How about the news that came out yesterday on the UFC Unfiltered podcast? Jim Norton, Matt Serra, they had Dana White on the show. And aside from what we were talking about yesterday towards the end of the show with Cowboy Cerrone and you should have called me, that deal, he also revealed that Chris Cyborg did get offered a title fight, a UFC title fight at 145 pounds. So no catch weight, no insistence on 35. It was actually 145. And first it was going to be Holly Holm, and then it was going to be Germaine de Randami. Now there's two things. Holm was advised by Winklejohn not to take it. So when they moved on to Randami, it was for that reason, and also because Chris Cyborg said, I need 12-week camps. I need more time, I think is what she said. And so they offered her first a fight that didn't require that there wasn't going to be that much time. But when they offered her the one that's happening in Brooklyn, which is like in February, she definitely had her 8 weeks, and she still declined that one for the UFC featherweight title. The reason why is because she said she needs 12 weeks. And I mean, Dana White stated that Joe Silva, the matchmaker, said, man, if she can't make 8 weeks, she shouldn't be fighting even at 45. Mm-hmm. That's how dangerous that is. That's what they think. But this is all she's ever wanted, Goze.
She's got to roll the dice
other than Ronda,
right?
At 145. But, yeah, this is all she ever wanted, and she turned it down because she wants 12 weeks. Now, again, I'm all for health and safety, and after seeing those videos of them basically scraping her up, almost like a spatula, scraping up a cookie off the pan. That's what it looked like with Cyborg. She's crying, but she made it both times. In fact, one time she got down to 139, but it was miserable. She doesn't want to put her body through that anymore. So she's standing up for herself. But at the same time, this is quite an opportunity, man, to become a actual UFC world champion in your division. And those were some really, really good names they threw away, especially the first one, Holly Holm. I don't know, man. I don't know if maybe they should have rethought that.
I would have.
Yeah.
It's the dream scenario. It's what you finally want. Maybe it's not. There's a lot of fighters that do what you do that have done that. So I would have told her, yeah, I mean, at some point, Chris, we got to take some chances. This is the time to do it, though,
Right.
for a belt.
She's been vacationing. The only thing I can think of is maybe she just pushed it. Maybe her walk around is 170 or the holidays, travel. If that's what she says, that's what she says. But the fact that she's done the other ones to 140, I think it would have been worth it, man. I really, I don't know. Just this, yeah, I would have done it. All right, you're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. We'll take this break now. When we come back, we're looking to lock up with UFC heavyweight Stipe Miocic. We'll be right back, folks.
Tell your boss to reschedule that meeting. Call your wife and tell her lunch is off. It's time for more MMA Junkie Radio with gorgeous George and Goze.
This Saturday night, Max Holloway steps into the cage to battle Anthony Pettis for the interim featherweight championship at UFC 206 in Toronto. Listen to in-depth coverage of the entire card starting Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern with SiriusXM's UFC 206 pre-fight live. Then immediately after the final bell, get instant reaction and analysis from SiriusXM's UFC 206 post-fight live, exclusively on your home for Combat Sports, SiriusXM, Rush Channel 93, and the SiriusXM app. Joining us now is the UFC heavyweight champion, who, by the way, still has some baseball game, man, knocking balls out of the park when he did his little summer tour of I'm the Man. You know, he's out there mid-court for Cavs games. He also got to hit with the Cavaliers, and that was very, very impressive that he went yard.
If you're a baseball player, because a lot of athletes get compared to other athletes in other industries, right?
Yeah.
If you're a baseball player, aren't you kind of hoping that he sucks when the pitch is coming? Like, you want him to swing and miss, right? That way you could go, that's right, buddy. It's a lot harder than it seems.
Right.
So when he went yard, they must have been like, Jesus Christ.
Right, because if an Indian came to the gym, I'm sure Stipe would be laughing at his jab or his head kick. Joining us now is UFC heavyweight Stipe Miocic. What's up, Stipe? How you doing?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us here on the MMA Junkie Radio Show again. Always a pleasure. Hey, did you ever hear what we were saying? You really held your own, man, in that batting cage, and when you went yard, and those guys couldn't say anything, you know, like roll their eyes, like, yeah, like Goze was saying, that's buddy, it's tougher than it looks. You know what I mean? Because I know athletes tend to bust each other's balls too.
Yeah, you know, just I think all the stars and moons and everything lined up perfect for me to hit that out. It was just a great experience, honestly.
How many strikeouts did you have before you hit that over, though? Be honest. Tell us the whole tale.
Yeah, I think I missed the first pitch or fouled off the first pitch, and after that I was hitting the ball.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, you ever see MMA? You've done the first pitch already, right? I imagine.
Yeah, I did that last year.
Did you throw a strike or anything close?
It was pretty close. I think it was like a little bit outside, maybe. It was over the plate. I didn't 50 cent it or anything like that and throw it to the dugout.
MMA athletes haven't done too well with that, but I know you have a baseball background, so no shocker there. All right, Stipe, you enjoying this time off? You deserved it. You had 3 fights in 10 months, and that's why it kind of forced Verdum. Oh, okay, 8 months. And that's why it kind of forced Verdum and Velasquez to actually have to fight each other, because I know they both wanted a piece, but now they have to fight each other to get a shot at you.
Yeah, I just sucks getting old, and don't heals easy, and no matter if it's a quick fight, you always have bumps and bruises through camp, and you make it through. But I just want some time off, just enjoy the holidays for a change, and enjoy my new house.
Do you believe that the winner should get the title shot, or have you heard JDS? He's been chirping, he's saying, hey, I've got some wins, I got a resume, and I got a win over the current champ. Do you believe he's got enough to be in the talk, and will you have a say in who's next?
They're all great fighters. I really don't care who I fight. I don't know if they haven't really asked me, but I don't really care who it is, if it's, Cain Velasquez or JDS. I think it's going to be a great fight, and I match up all 3 of them. So, whoever they put in front of me, and listen, I'm going to keep that ball, like I said, for a long time, so it doesn't matter who it is, I'm going to win.
So, but avenging a loss, so that's something you don't preoccupy. 16-2, 12 of those 16 wins by KO. 1 submission too. Nice that he got that one. That way, no one has to ever ask. You ever gonna get it goes? What do you have? Good.
Well,
be in record-breaking setting mode.
Legacy time, right?
There you go.
Well, I'm going to do it, so I'm not worried about it. Like I said, I'm keeping the belt for a long time. I'm not trying to be tacky, but like I said, I've trained way too hard to give this thing up, and I'm not giving it up for a while.
Stipe, your popularity, I know we've asked you before, when you go out on a call, how often are you recognized? But has it changed at all in this last year?
Yeah, it definitely has. People say recognize me, and even when I'm not on calls, the patients be like, "Is Stipe here?" They're like, "No." Like I had one lady, I guess, said, is Stipe here? And they're like, no, he's not working today. She goes, hey, thank God, because I wasn't going to go with you guys. It's going to look like crap.
All right, and then tell me about, has any of this gone to your head? Have any, like your wife or your buddies ever had to tell you, hey, take it easy, man, you're kind of changing?
No, I'm the same guy, go to the station. I get checked there every day. I'm a young guy, so they tell me what to do and go clean some toilets and go mop some floors. Yeah, man, I'm nothing's changed. I mean, I'm the champ, but I'm the same guy that wakes up at 7 in the morning, get my wife coffee, and then go to work if I have to, or clean the house.
Mm-hmm. You don't have seniority at that fire station? You've been there a while, or is it because of the part-time status?
Part-time. Well, it's definitely part-time, but there's a lot of guys that at the one station, it's all part-time, and there's still a lot of guys ahead of me.
Mm-hmm. What about LeBron, the Cavs, the Indians, those guys? What do you think of running with that circle? Is that pretty cool, or is that once again one of those where because you're such a humble guy, you just could never see yourself spending $500,000 on a car and all the bling and stuff like that?
No, I'm just frugal as it is, so it don't matter how much money I make. I'm frugal, so I'll never buy stuff like that. I mean, the new house is a little bit more expensive, but we got a great deal on it. I couldn't pass it up, and it's not like extraordinary like some of these cars. But no, I like to save my money and I'll put it away and invest it right.
What kind?
Got to be something.
What kind of car do you drive?
Dodge Ram Rebel.
Say that again.
Dodge Ram Rebel.
Dodge Ram Rebel. Okay. I thought you said a goddamn rebel. I was like, what the fuck's that? A rebel? I never heard of it.
Dodge Ram Rebel. Yeah, it's a new Dodge Ram that came out this year, and I still was second guessing to buy it because I just want to spend that much money.
So you did. My next question was there any perks? Did you have to buy it, or was there a Cleveland Dodge dealer that came strong for you?
No, they wasn't, but definitely they helped me out. It's actually a close friend of ours, so the girls can just get dinner, and if it comes across. If it doesn't, it is what it is.
There you go. I like hearing that. Now, one last thing here. In going through your social media, somebody asked you, what's your favorite beer? You said cold. We get that. We like our beer cold too, but I just want to identify more with the champ. We know you have the Dodge Ram Rebel, a new house, telling people about the fact that you played some ball.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty basic,
You're not an IPA snob or nothing like that?
No, I'm not good with that other IPA, whatever it's called. I have no idea what it is. I just the beer tastes good, I'm gonna drink it.
So we know what he drives and what kind of beer. We're gonna show up one day, huh?
Yeah.
Don't we seem like stalkers at this point?
Show up with some Coronas. How many of those? How many of those can you put away before you start getting loopy? I mean, professional athletes, they either have the greatest tolerance ever, or they just never drink, and that's it. I'll give you an example. One time we did a shot with Anthony Johnson. He's a big boy like you. 4 hours later, we ran into him here at Mandalay Bay, and he was still buzzing, right, Goze?
Yeah.
He goes, man, my body's pure. I just like a temple. I just don't drink much. That's why it affected him.
Yeah. Well, during camp, I usually start drinking about 8 weeks out. So right after a fight, it takes a couple, and I'm feeling it. But when I'm in the off season, I'll take some. I guess it depends what day it is. I could definitely drink all night. I could start early and late. It just I pace myself. I don't go gun ho. But once I start doing shots, so that's when it's usually downhill.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, the trip that you did while the Indians were in the World Series, did you get a lot of grief for that? Like, hey man, you might be jinxing them because you kind of were a good luck charm everywhere you were. The teams were winning.
Yeah, no, I mean, I actually went to the game in Chicago and they lost, so I went to 2 of the games they lost.
Oh, so maybe it was the best thing that you were stopped showing up.
Shipped them out.
Yeah. I was at the game 1, they won. The second game they lost, and then they were up 3-1, and then went to the game 5, and they lost 3-2. And the next day I left to go to London, and then it was terrible. I was up till 4:30 in the morning, and then I had to wake up like 7:30 to do PR.
That's crazy.
I was up all night watching the games, going crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, it's great to do this catch-up with you. Just been wondering what you've been up to and what might be next. It sounds like you never had any sort of serious injury. It was just knickknacks. You got your rest, some family time, holidays, 2017, right back at it. You're looking to fit in 3 fights, like 2016, or maybe 2, or what's your deal?
No, we'll see. See how it plays out. Just get one for sure, and then play it by ear.
There you go. All right, Stipe. Thank you so much for the time, as always. Best of luck to you.
You two guys have a great day.
All right, we'll see you. That's the UFC heavyweight champion, folks.
I don't know that he knows it.
Yeah.
Man, I'd be obnoxious as hell if I was him.
Alistair Overeem, Fabricio Verdum, Andrei Arlovski. If he had it his way, he does want that loss off. Junior Dos Santos and Cain Velasquez might be his best paths, as far as cementing his legacy. Because I think it's one thing that's impressive is not just the title defenses, but all the names that are part of your title defense legacy.
Yeah.
All right. From one superstar to another, that's the baddest man on the planet. Coming up next is the funniest man on the planet, comedian Joey Diaz. You can follow him on Twitter @MadFlavor. He's also the host of the Church of What's Happening Now podcast, which you can subscribe to on iTunes. He's going to be giving us some predictions for UFC 206 happening this weekend in Toronto, headlined by Max Holloway and Anthony Pettis. What's up? How you doing, partner?
I got no predictions for this fight. This is a hard one to pick here, this card. This is a great card Saturday.
Mm-hmm. So what are you coming in here for? To just wish us a happy hump day or what? You got to give us some picks, Uncle Joey. Come on, man.
I got dick for you. This is a great. When this got announced, I was so excited.
Yeah.
About Max Holloway and Anthony Pettis. I mean, this is one of those fights that these are the ones I like, where anything could happen in this fight. I mean, Pettis is experienced. He's been champion. He's been up against the best. This fucking Holloway kid is a savage in heat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He doesn't mince his words, and it's very interesting. Donald Cerrone, Matt Brown, is fucking fireworks. Tuck Swanson. Is Kevin Gastelum, Tim Kennedy still on?
Yeah. So he did get cleared. The Gastelum had those issues with the show in New York. The commission kind of was, aside from him not making weight or even wanting to step on the scale, they gave him a 6-month suspension, but it looks like that all got sorted out. Him and Tim Kennedy will be doing it. Now, so Kennedy's a middleweight who hasn't fought in like 2 years, and Gastelum's a natural welterweight, but he struggles with that weight class, so he's moving up to middleweight. So I don't know. That one's a tough one. No opinion there?
Which one? Gastelum against
Kennedy, yeah.
That's a tough one, man. Like you said, he's got ring rust, Kennedy. He hasn't been in there for a while. Gastelum had gotten his head, the weight issues. What was he weighed in New York?
He never weighed in.
He
didn't even get on the scale. The rumor was he was going to be 10 pounds over, so he just didn't even bother. But yeah, he didn't even weigh in.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, like I said, this is a great card this weekend. Cowboys ready to rock. Tim Means is the next card. I'm ahead of myself, right?
Tim Means is the
Tim
next.
Tim Means is 207.
He is, I think, yeah. Where is Tim Means, Goze? Do you know?
Looking it up right now.
Yeah. 207's, that one's at the end of the month here in Vegas, but this one in Toronto.
Right.
I'm going with, this is what I like, guys. Tell me what you think of my parlay.
All right.
Holloway, Brown, Matt Brown, because you have to have an underdog, all right? And Holloway's a favorite, but you have to have an underdog, otherwise this thing won't pay. Cerrone's got, I don't know what's going on with his eye. He's in Cabo San Lucas. Dana White's pissed at him, and I just think Matt Brown is a beast. You know what I mean? So I'm going to roll the dice with Brown.
Coming off a loss?
Yeah, Holloway.
Loss to,
and Swanson's Swanson's an underdog too. I mean, I know that the Korean Doo Choi is really, really good, but I still think Swanson's got some of the best boxing at the featherweight division. He's always in great condition. So that's 2 underdogs and 1 favorite, and the favorite is not a massive favorite. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. What do you guys think?
I like that parlay. It makes sense for all the reasons that you pointed out. You're right about Donald Cerrone. I mean, who knows the kind of stress that he's been under for this camp.
Yeah. You approve, Coco?
I don't like parlays.
Do you like the fights individually?
Yeah. Just slam. Why are you going to sit out and sweat out 3 fucking fights when you could bang out 1 for everything? If you like Matt Brown this much and he's the underdog, bang him out. You're going to sit there through 3 fucking fights, all nervous, getting anxiety for nothing. You put a bet in it to put the bet in and go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how good you got to feel about it. Well, you got 3 fucking picks. You got to be Johnny Houdini to pick these things.
Yeah, tell me about it. Keeping up with the sports, not what it used to be. Remember when it was like a 2-3 month build up to a card?
Used to be soft lines 3 years ago. You'd go to Vegas and make a little money because the lines were soft. Now they got you by the balls. This Anthony Pettis fight, Max Holloway, on paper, Max Holloway has great momentum, on paper. But fucking Anthony Pettis has been through wars. He's been in there with everybody except Godzilla.
Yeah.
So he's used to the.
Since, what Donald Cerrone's been having to go through, Anthony Pettis had his cars lit on fire. Do you believe in all those outside things kind of affecting you once it comes fight time?
Listen, man, I went up on stage last week. I've been fucking struggling with anxiety. And now my fucking ear went away. Like my hearing is gone for some reason in my left ear. And then when I got off the plane last week, both of my ears were silent. Let me tell you something. When you walk upstairs and you hear your fat little heart pounding inside your shirt, you think you're going to have a heart attack. When you get on stage and see all those people with the ears not fucking hearing and the anxiety, I almost shit my pants. But after 2 minutes, the fight goes on.
Damn.
Wow.
Have you gotten
what
that?
I'm saying? I mean, I believe in outside stresses, but some motherfuckers like Cerrone, he's 31 and something. He's been around for a while. He knows that when that cage gets locked, everything goes away. We saw it last year, 2 years ago, Fucko in Green Bay. His father died right before the fucking game. Mm-hmm. He threw up 5 touchdowns.
Has your hearing come back?
Remember that?
Brett Favre. Yeah, I remember that. Brett Favre. He did that against Oakland Raiders. I remember that.
Jordan had a similar thing, too.
Mom died or somebody fucking died. So some people it affects, and some people just walk right through it. That's what I feel. I have a lot of problems before I go on stage. And once you get in there and you get punched in the head one time, now you're in the party. Yeah. Now you're at the party. Now you know what you're there for, So everybody has different ways of dealing with stuff.
When are you going to be in Vegas again?
Next July.
Next July? Wow, that's a long time.
You never know. Yeah, but you never know. You know how Vegas is fickle and shit. Something might happen. Next thing you know, I'm right there eating breakfast with you at the radio station, eating Stars of Death. Something. There's always something.
Aren't you loading up? Because I think at the end of the year, they're not going to be as potent, right?
Oh, I always get the potent shit. I don't fuck around, dog. I can't do it any other way. That's what they're saying, but it's not going to happen until 2017 or something, they're saying.
Yeah. So check this out.
Nobody really knows what's going on.
I listen to the Church of What's Happening, but every once in a while I'll miss an episode. I don't know how the one with Sebastian Maniscalco got by me. I went back there. I was listening to it the other day. I was dying when you were talking about that little sander on your foot and the little dust. That shit was funny.
Oh, my fungi toenail, when I buff it out with the sander.
Yeah.
And I take
Have you ever seen that commercial, Goze? There's this commercial where when, it was mostly with women, I guess they're so concerned about it. You're supposed to rub lotion or you can... You have you have the filer.
Like the
well, now there's this one thing. It looks like a little sander, and you just put it up to your foot, and it just gets rid of all the dead skin, and now it's smooth as a baby's.
Uh-huh.
And Joey's big on washing his feet and taking care of his feet, but he's done this sander as well. Well, the sander, little foot dust fell off of it, and next thing you know, one of his cats walked through it or something. It was hilarious, man. That was a funny story you told.
Oh, those fucking cats love that little foot fungus powder. And, you go to jiu-jitsu, you get that dirt that gets caught under the skin, you got to buff that out. You can just do so much with soap and water. You got to buff that fucking dirt out.
That's funny. All right, so any performances this weekend, or where should people go catch your act this weekend, or anything coming up in December?
I got a Chinese restaurant in Ventura the 21st, and I've got New Year's with Rogan down at whatever that is, the Orpheum Theater on the 30th. I'm not doing nothing. What happened was I'm releasing my special tomorrow on CISO.
Yeah,
so I
saw
just
the
been
clips.
Working to that, What happened, brother?
Saw the clips. The clips look good.
Yeah, they did a great job, So I was on the road last week, and I was up in Portland, And that was it for the year. I'm done. I'm home now. I'm home for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Spend time with the family. It's, the holidays, so this is it.
Well, we can watch
Fuck
this.
Going out there in the plane, getting cold and shit.
We
on CISO TV online, so you go to CISOTV.com, you put in your name, your email, and your whatever, and then you put code Joey, and you get 2 months for free. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
2 months for free, so you have nothing to lose. You watch it, you don't like it, it was fucking free, all right? That's it. And you're going to like it, cocksucker.
All right, Joey. Thanks for joining us here on the MMA Junkie Radio Show. I hope you have a good weekend. We'll definitely look into your special tomorrow.
Guys, thank you for everything. You know I love you, cocksuckers. Stay black.
All right, buddy. Take care. We'll see you. That's comedian Joey Diaz on Twitter @MadFlavor. When we first started, he used to love the parlays. Looks like maybe now he's got a little bit more of a sour taste with the parlays.
So you got tired of leaving envelopes.
Yeah. So now it's pick a guy and ride with that one. Cowboy, since he's been going up to welterweight, I doubted him, but he keeps proving me wrong.
This is one of the bigger welterweights, though.
So if I put 100 on Matt Brown, I get back 230. Yeah, he's solid. Matt Brown is solid. And, Cowboy's got a lot going on the outside. I still prefer lower risk and trying to hit the 3 fights. I mean, Jesus Christ. I'm hosting MMA Junkie Radio, so that means I'm an MMA junkie. If I can't find 3 fights and get them right, then what the hell am I doing? You know what I mean? So I do like
I think
Swanson.
you gotta mix the both.
I get Swanson and Brown, 2 ranked fighters in their respective weight class. And then on the other one, all right, so I'm taking the favorite. But he's not like dropping 800. Demetrius got as high as 800, 1,000. That was killing your parlay. There was no reason to include him in your parlay. But I get Max Holloway, who's that. And Max Holloway's only... you want that big payday, huh?
I think...
Football Showdown. Original content that Goze and I did regarding what we're most thankful for. So this was something we recorded during Thanksgiving season, but I think you guys will really like it because I went back and listened to it, and I almost had tears coming down my eyes. All right, following us right now will be Busted Open, Doug Morban, Dave LaGreca. They'll be reacting to last night's SmackDown. The rest of you, head on over to the website, MMAjunkie.com/radio.
Gonna have me some fun. It cost me my very last dime.
Okay. All right, here we go. It's the second hour of the MMA Junkie Radio Show. Want to thank Stipe Miocic and Joey Diaz for their time. Touch of gloves to Jim for the Stipe Miocic interview, and I got to thank myself for setting up for the Joey Diaz interview.
You're fantastic.
I'm fantastic.
During the break, we were talking to Kimg Mo about the kind of car he drives.
Right.
Check this out. Look on the screen what I found. I want to send him these. These are dope, right?
For your rims?
Yeah.
I like that.
For the tire.
I think he'll like them. Stocking stuffers. It is Christmas. All right. Joining us now is none other than Kimg Mo Lawal. What's up, Mo? How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. Just chilling.
Headlining Bellator 169 versus Satoshi Ishii. You ready to get this thing going? What are we, like a couple weeks away, right? 10 days?
Man, we fight on Friday, so I don't know how many days, to be real, but it's next week.
When you heading down there?
So it's coming up. I leave on Sunday.
I can't believe that if this fight didn't happen, you would have only had the one fight in 2016. Granted, you sure as hell had a busy 2015, and you fought towards a lot towards the end of 2015. But I don't know. I thought I would have seen maybe a third fight out of you this year.
Me too. But you know what, man? There's still, I don't know. Anything can happen, man. You know, I'm pretty sure next year will be busy though. You know, I'm hoping. I think it will. Yeah, I think things happen. Some things fell through because I was supposed to fight in August, but that fell through.
Who are you gonna fight?
And then I was supposed to fight in early September. I forgot who. I forgot who it was supposed to be, but I was supposed to fight in August. I forgot who it was supposed to be, but that fell through.
Is this one of those money weight fights, or does this do anything to help you get a rematch versus Phil Davis?
For the game, if I can't do nothing, I'll just jump in and try to be a judge.
Well, let's see. The conflicts would be if you if you had to judge somebody who had anything to do with American Top Team, a wrestler, or a fellow sandbagger like you, according to George Masvidal.
Now, myself a king sandbagger. I'm probably go hard nation. But it's like
oh,
this.
That's right. I worded it wrong.
This, so I can watch a fight and be real. You know what I'm saying about who won. You know, I wouldn't be biased. Everyone has their own bias to a certain style.
Right.
As far as to a team, I wouldn't be like that. Bias happens to be more towards the style. Like some people are strikers at heart, and they'll score striking more than they'll score a position and ground and pound, or even submission attempts. It just depends on your style and what you prefer.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question, and then I'll go first so you feel comfortable answering it so you know I'm not trying to set you up. Have you ever just been with your homies somewhere and you're watching any form of athletic competition, but mostly one-on-one? And so you're sitting there and you don't know shit. Let's just say you're at a rugby game. Well, that one's not really going to work too much. It might, but you're just somewhere where you're like, what the fuck? How'd I get talked into this? And in the end, somebody goes, all right, it's almost done. After these two, we're done. And, and you go, who do you got? Let's bet a beer, just to make it fun. Do you ever just go, I'll take the black guy because you're black, and I'll answer first? I know I've said, give me the Latino guy. So I'm wondering, do you guys think, Goze, you two, that there's ever just even that form of a bias where you just kind of start out
that high of a level with the judging?
Yeah.
Man, maybe if you just went to some weird backwards.
I don't think there's okay. Put it this way: I don't think anyone ever goes, man, I sure ain't giving it to the black guy. I don't think anybody goes in with that one. But I think that there may be like a close 10-9. Who knows if something like that may enter a judge's mind?
Or a guy
I'll side with the wrestler. He's from California. I'm from California. He's the same color skin I am.
Unconscious bias, yeah.
Yeah, that I believe.
Unconscious bias, it happens. Implicit bias, it happens. I think, yeah. Plenty of times I've done that. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Plenty of times. Because the thing is, I'm gonna go with the black guy because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to the brother because he's probably been in the same situation as me a few times. He might have been pulled over by police or mistaken identity or, been looked at kind of funny or people, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just go with what you relate to the most.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie. That's why sometimes, like, when, like, look at me and Phil Davis. Phil's a good fighter. I think maybe he's more MMA fan friendly in a sense. Like, say it's a new fight fan or old school fan, they see him, they see me, they'll probably like him because he's, I don't know, just seems like a nicer, clean cut guy to me.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the traditional MMA guy. I'm just a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes off well spoken, dresses nice, shakes hands, kisses babies. I really don't do that. I'm like whatever.
You don't like babies?
No, I ain't I'm with babies. It's just that I don't kiss no ass just to be liked.
Yeah, I hear you. Kimg Mo, our guest here on MMA Junkie Radio. He's headlining Bellator 169 versus Satoshi Ishii, and that's coming up in about 10 days. Yeah, we're getting real close to that date. All right, Goze, what do you have for Kimg Mo?
Mo, when it comes to striking, grappling, submissions, is there any area you can concede to Ishii in this fight?
Judo. That's about it, judo. But because my position, my defensive grappling is good, my offensive grappling is good. I would just throw punches and go for submissions. Striking's better. He's gonna be heavier, probably bigger, but I think all around I'm gonna be too much for him. He is tough though, but I think I'm gonna be too much for him. Come Friday night.
Mo, you fought and wrestled all over the world. Have you ever had the conversation with Bellator? How about a home game? How about we take this to Dallas?
You know what? I did, man, a while ago. You know what I'm saying? Like during the Dick Rider series. I mean, my bad. I can't say that, can I?
Yeah.
Can I say it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
During the Dick Rider era of Bellator, I brought it up to him, and he's like, that was a good idea, but they were kind of more about the casino stuff, so that fell through. But I wouldn't mind going to Dirty D. You know what I'm saying? Triple D, Dallas, Texas, Dirty Dallas, Texas. I wouldn't mind going there, but you know what I'm saying? It just comes down to what they want to do. Because with me, I'm a mercenary for the cash, so I'll fight anywhere. It don't bother me none.
Kimg Mo, let me ask you about that. I heard that term pop up last week when the MMAAA was formed, with Bjorn Rebney as an advisor to GSP, Cain Velasquez. By the way, those two will be on the show today, GSP, Cain Velasquez, so if you want to forward me a question, go ahead. But I remember that came up. If Bjorn doesn't react to the decision the way you said that he reacted, is that kind of like the one time that Bjorn crossed you, or was there just many times that he crossed you? Like, I don't remember you talking bad about him before that. Is what I'm getting at. But
no. But there's other things I saw, but I was just staying quiet because I had a homeboy was like, Mo, watch this dude. So for instance, like my boy Dan Kramer, he fought in Reno, and he showed up on weight. His opponent showed up like 10 pounds overweight. So Kramer was like, I'm gonna weigh in. The guy was like, Bjorn was like, no, don't weigh in. How about this? You fight this guy, and we can do the tournament. And Kramer's like, no, I'm training for a striker. This guy's a wrestler. No, let's push the fight to next week then. They're like, Bjorn was like, okay, you're not weighing in. Well, if you weigh in, you get paid. So Dan Kramer pretty much took 2 months off from work because he has a full-time job to train for this fight. And then when he shows up to fight, his opponent didn't make weight, so they tell him not to weigh in. So since he didn't weigh in, he lost money.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He does things like that. Like the way he played me for the Clinton fight, I'm going to be real with you. When I fought Quentin Jackson, that was my lowest payday in my career. Straight up. The lowest payday I ever made in my career because Bjorn tried to play me. Actually, he did play me. Bjorn played me, and but the thing is, I swallowed that, but I've seen him do other people dirty. Not just me. That's why everyone has stories, not just me. But I just kind of watched because I didn't want to jump in there and say something that wasn't right and then have it backfire on me. So I just kind of sat back and watched. And I just chilled like OJ the Juice, OJ, Orange Juice Jones. I chilled. You know what I'm talking about? The Rain. Y'all remember that video?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sat back and I chilled.
All right.
I watched everything.
I when all this was going down last week, I saw a lot of people, where it seemed like they were supportive of MMAAA. It's just that they were tuning out because of his involvement. Where would you say you fit in there? Were you supportive of what they're trying to do, but you just didn't like him being affiliated, or you don't even like MMA AA at all? Yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna be real. I don't give a damn about no MMA, MMA. I don't give a damn about them because they're for the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? For MMA, it's for they might as well play UFC AA.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just for the UFC. Ain't no MMA in that. It's just UFC.
Mm-hmm.
Because you look, the representatives are all from an organization. Ain't no MMA in that.
Mm-hmm.
Just UFC, UFC AA.
So you're more of a backer of MMA FA?
Well, Rob Macy, you know what I'm saying, has been reaching out to everybody, you know, and they're trying to go across all spectrums. You know, I hope the UFC AA does what they, accomplishes their goals and get what they want for the UFC fighters. But when it comes down to it, it don't affect me. So I wish them the best. I hope they get what they want to get. You know what I'm saying? Because it help all the fighters in that organization. Yeah. But as far as from what I've seen, I'm not with nobody. But Rob Macy makes the most sense to me because he's trying to get MMA all across the board. I hope Tim Kennedy. I hope because they all bust their ass. You know what I'm saying? Tim Kennedy, George, Cain, Dillashaw, Cerrone, all of them. They all when they bled for the sport, for their organization. They want to do something, let them do it for the UFC fighters.
Cain says he's had 7 major surgeries, and when he's done fighting Verdum in December, he's gonna have an 8th. How many surgeries have you had? I guess you may answer that question just on knees alone, but overall, how many surgeries has your body gone through?
Okay, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, 7, 12. If you include scopes, probably about 40, not more. If you include scopes.
40?
Put it like this. I remember, probably about close to 40. I'm gonna put it like this, right? I remember when I first used to have surgery, no problem. I used to wake up good because the anesthesia. I try to fight. And they say count down to 10. I count to like 10, 9, pass out. But then when the surgery's over, I wake up and I'd be able to go. I'd get up, be able to walk to the car. A few times, man, I actually drove myself home. You know what I'm saying? I go catch a movie. I have my wits about me. Mm-hmm. But now, ever since I've had so many surgeries, like after anesthesia's over, wears off, I'm still messed up. I don't know how I get home. I can't barely talk. I can barely walk. I'm messed up. You know what I'm saying? And I know the anesthesia's starting to. I've been under. I enjoy doing it. Mm-hmm. I love training for my body, so I can not enjoy my. If you have defense, you're not gonna get hit much. You might get kicked, might get punched, but the wrestling, the stress in your joints, that's what gets you.
Waking up in the morning's a bitch?
Nah. Because I really don't sleep much, man. Y'all can hit me up around, on my time, I go to bed around 2:30 and wake up around 5:36. So y'all can hit me up during the nighttime. I'll be watching TV or just chilling, you know what I'm saying, or taking those naps and waking up. I don't sleep that good. Never have.
Damn. Why is that? You just can't, I guess, settle down, and is your mind always wandering? Like that's what happens to me when I'll be laying there. I'm like thinking of so much shit I gotta do that it takes me a while to just block it, and finally my eyelids close.
Yeah, this is anxiety. I got anxiety, so my mind's always running. So I've always had that. I never slept good my whole life, so it's just like I make things happen. I don't take no naps. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I drink too much soda, too, because I love me Pepsi and Mountain Dew. So I've been drinking about 4 cans a day, 5 cans a day of that.
Oh, wow.
Hey,
maybe that keeps me up, too.
You don't like Coke? You're strictly Pepsi guy?
Man, Pepsi only. Pepsi only, dog.
If you go to a restaurant and you go, can I have a Pepsi? They go, sorry, all we have is Coke. Most people just go, yeah, give me that. Do you put your foot down and order something else, or do you finally take the Coke at that point?
Look, I take it, but I'm like, damn. So I always ask for Pepsi first.
Uh-huh.
I always ask for Pepsi first. If they ain't got it, I'll just settle for less. Take that Coca-Cola. Straight up.
All right, Mo. Listen, man, I hope you had a safe camp. Look forward to your fight versus Satoshi Ishii on December 16th out in Dublin, Ireland. Should be a good one. And thank you for all your time. And I almost want to start saying to a lot of the veterans, thanks for your service. I mean, honestly, without these guys putting their bodies and their health at risk, we wouldn't have a sport. And we always say that to the veterans. We say that to the military that protects us. I
appreciate you saying that because a lot of these fans got the game twisted. They're like, without us, you would be nothing. I'm like, well, without us, you would be entertained. We put our body through the ringer to get paid and to entertain. We don't go out there and be like, if you talk to any fight, no fighter's like, you know what? I'm looking for the decision today. We're looking for the stoppage. It's just hard to get, but we try. We try to entertain. You know what I'm saying? So, no, all the fighters out there, man, I respect them. I show them love because this game ain't easy.
That's what's up. Thanks, Mo, for the time. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, man.
All right, we'll see it. That's Kimg Mo. Never a dull moment when we have him on the line. Follow him on Twitter at Kimg Mo FH. You can follow Joey Diaz on Twitter at Mad Flavor. And you can follow Stipe Miocic on Twitter at Stipe Miocic UFC. Let them know you enjoyed listening to them on the at MMAjunkie radio show. It always helps us. Plus, it gives us a reason to retweet.
I'm tripping on the fact that he can't sleep. I can do that maybe a couple days in a row, but after a while, it catches up to me.
Your body just hits a wall and boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've gone through real consistent days of 4 hours, 5 hours, 3 hours. And look, I don't really stumble in. Sometimes I notice I'm not sharp. Maybe that's what contributes to my bad memory. But yeah, there does come a day where you're like, oh man, it's 9. I'm going to bed, and I don't wake up till the next day at 7, 10 hours, and I'm good to go.
As an adult, I've learned to kind of pre-plan for those type of things. Now I've been like we have this trip, right? Yesterday I wanted to sleep a lot, and then that helps me out the next day, but I wasn't able to do it. I guess my brain is just trained to you go to bed at a certain time. Oh, it's tough. A lot of people use that Z-Quil. Have you ever seen that?
If Dr. Johnny or Dr. Sam or anybody else told me, you're good, it won't affect you, or you won't become, dependent on it, I'd probably do it from time to time.
Yeah?
Yeah. But if somebody told me, no, man, we've heard, there's
our buddy
side
over there
effects.
does it.
Does he? And it helps him?
Not every night, but when he needs to.
When
he does it, he says he loves it.
Yeah, a good night of sleep is like the best thing. You really get up refreshed. You even lose like a couple extra pounds, it seems like. I may have to look into that. Z-Quil.
So it's the NyQuil without the medicine, I guess, right?
Let's talk to Hal in Chiclayo. What's up, Hal? How you doing?
Yo, I'm doing all right. You?
Oh, you just wake up?
Check this out, cut.
Sound like Razor Ramon's on
like
the phone.
To take a nap. Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Man. You know who I think made maybe a worse decision than Matt Schnell this weekend? Ray Wood. Ray Wood, if you recall, lost to Antonio McKee Jr., right?
Okay.
AJ McKee Jr. All right, Ray Wood, last time he made his Bellator debut on short notice because Jordan Parsons had tragically passed away, and they needed an opponent for their prospect, Adam Piccolotto.
Oh, that's right.
This poor soul steps in on him like 5 days' notice, gets crushed in the first round. Now he comes back. AJ McKee needs an opponent. This dude takes the fight. I mean, credit to him. You got balls. But maybe a stun gun for his manager there, man. Like, and then he gets, and on like 5 days' notice, 10 days' notice, and he still went the distance with McKee. The guy, I was looking at his record, he's pretty good. Up until McKee and Piccolotto, he was undefeated. He had a lot of finishes. He had beaten some undefeated guy from Oklahoma top team. So, but, I guess that desire to just, take a gamble on yourself and go in there and, it's not like it was against, Joe Warren or somebody, or Jose Aldo. I guess you figured, I'll take McKee. Why not?
Here's what I feel. Here's what I think, Hal. In talking to so many fighters over the years, they all basically think that they're the next champ, if they're not the champ already. That they'll acknowledge from time to time, oh, yeah, that guy's tough. But you rarely hear that. And I think it comes from, if you think about it, Ray Wood in this case, or whoever else we're talking about, where they probably grew up, they were the toughest kid in the neighborhood. For sure, the toughest kid in the family. Toughest kid in the neighborhood. Probably toughest kid in the city. Then when they were in high school or college, they probably had their series of tough fights or something, some incidents. And along the way, they were able to check this guy here, check that guy there. Then you get to the stage where you're an adult and a bouncer gets, froggy with you and you lay him out. And so, I mean, by the time you get here and now you're the toughest guy in a gym with a bunch of other killers, you basically think you probably can't lose. And so I guess that's why a lot of these guys gamble on themselves, because they actually think they're the shit. I'm the toughest guy here. I'm the toughest guy there. I won sectionals. I won state. I did this. I did that. And then eventually they do run into another freight train, and then all of a sudden they really regress. And then you'll hear them say, no, I'm going to stay away from this skill set or this fighter. They start protecting their record a little bit more, or maybe they have a close call. The best thing that can ever happen to you is not the loss, it's the close call where you were losing and then you came back and won. That's even better than you just keep starching, because you never get tested. But I think that's what it boils down to, is they just don't really know fear. They don't know any better.
Well, I hope Scott hooks him up. I mean, Scott's a good dude. He seems like he does right by guys. But that Ray Wood right there, man, he's done them a solid twice. And hopefully he'll get a real fight next time.
Yeah. All right, buddy.
You guys doing the squid? All
yeah,
right.
we're doing the squid, and Jordan's ready and Squid's ready. So thank you very much, Hal, for calling in.
All right, later, guys.
All right, see you. All right, folks. We have Sammy the Squid here in studio. You can follow him on Twitter at Sammy T Squid. Jordan from Denver, he's going to join us as well. I'll give him a chance to drop his Twitter. He's been following the show for a long time, and of course, they're going to participate in this week's Beat the Squid segment. Squid and Jordan are both going to submit 5 picks from college football and pro. There's still Army, Navy left, right? In a game or two, or are we done?
Yeah, I mean, there is Army, Navy.
So it's mostly pro?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, there's not much of a board until we get to the bowl games.
Let's bring in Jordan from Denver. What's up, Jordan?
Yo, guys, what's going on?
Not
What's the T stand for again?
Ask Goze.
Goze, what's the T stand for?
It stands for the. We looked it up this morning on Wikipedia.
Okay.
All right, guys. So, Jordan, you kind of know the rules. Squid, you know the rules.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can give us a game number. It definitely helps, and we're going to try and quote these lines here at the Mandalay Bay so that we kind of stay consistent with what we've done other weeks. And I don't think there's much left from college, so it'll probably be mostly pros, but you guys are welcome to do whatever you got. So I'm ready. Goze is ready. Goze is going first.
I want Jordan to go first.
Jordan to go first. All right, Jordan, what you got?
Cool. We're going to start with game number 101, and we're going to go with the Raiders +3.
The Raiders. Oakland. Game 101. Where the hell's that?
It's probably on a different side because it's a Thursday game.
Okay. Do you find it, guys?
Trying to. They have it buried somewhere around here.
I had it at 3 anyway, but...
you good with that, Squid? You want us to look at it?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard to move that number on or off the 3, so I'm pretty sure it'll...
I don't see it anywhere.
I see it. It is Oakland +3. Okay. Squid.
Cool.
I am going to go with game 118, and I'm going to take the Lions and lay the wood -8 against the Bears.
-8.
Detroit -8. All right, Squid, back-to-back?
Back-to-back. I'm going to take...
It's been a long time since you laid the wood, right?
Game 123. And we're going to take the Redskins.
-1.
Wow. I had them at pick. But people like the Redskins. They're solid. I'll give it up. I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs.
Cowboys fan? Giving this much respect to a Redskins fan? You had a chance to bury him right there.
Bury me, Jack.
All right, Washington -1 in the pros. Jordan, what you have?
I got game 131, under 47.5.
Yep, I can confirm.
Yep.
Under 47.5, and that's in the Cowboys game. All right. Back-to-back, please.
Game 113, Steelers -3.
113, Steelers -3. They're down to 1.5, so you caught a break.
Okay.
All right, Squid, what you got?
Wow, you stole my pick. I had the under in the Cowboys game too, so that means that's probably a pretty solid one to play. I'm going to go with game 118 and take Miami.
Wait, 118
Wait, that was
Detroit. You
Alliance.
just gave us that.
I'm sorry?
You just gave us 118.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry. I wrote the wrong number then. The Dolphins. Where are my Dolphins?
116.
Dolphins are -1.
116. Okay.
And Dolphins are -1. All right, what else, Squid?
And I am going to take the Rams +6 at home. Game 130.
130.
I
can't figure those guys out. The Rams got blanked by Frisco on week 1, but then they came back with their own streak. They're doing well. Then they get worked, and I don't know. I don't know what their season's going to wind up like, but those guys have been a conundrum. So they host the Falcons, and they get 6 at home, and you want the LA Rams.
I'll take the 6. Yeah.
All right. Back to Jordan from Denver. Jordan, what's your Twitter, by the way?
Ordination Sports. ORDANTIONSPRTS.
SPORTS or just SPRTS?
Nah, just SP.
Okay. This guy doesn't know how to spell
RTS,
sports.
yeah.
All right, Jordan, what are your last 2 picks?
I got so I gave you the Raiders, the Cowboys, and the Steelers, right?
Yeah, under in the Cowboys and the Steelers, yeah.
Cool. So I got, this one's ugly, but I got game 109, Texans +6.5.
They are +6.
I'll take it.
Houston +6, and that's game 109. Okay, last one?
And then I got game 126, 49ers -2.5.
That's a sharp guy right there.
They are -2.5 here, yeah.
You can already tell Jordan's a sharp guy. All right, San Francisco -2.5. Squid, what's your last pick?
Yeah, I mean that is a college game. Jets and the Niners. Jeez, man, I thought the Niners would pull one out last week. They're playing a backup scrub quarterback and still blown out
by the Bears.
Right? No, though, man, you can't take that against them.
What do you want from
Kaepernick
us?
is so bad at passing that you take one little standard deviation out and it's done.
I mean, you guys would be better off with Tebow. Anything. Shit.
Nah, fuck that guy. We'll stick with Cap.
Shit.
All right. What you got, Squid?
All right. I gave the Rams. My last pick is going to be game 122, and I'm going to take the red-hot Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
-3.
Tampa Bay -3. All right, cool. All right, so let's recap here. It's easy. It's all in the NFL. Game 118, Detroit -8. Game 123, Washington -1. Game 116, Miami -1. Game 130, LA +6. Game 122, Tampa Bay -3. Over on the other side, Jordan from Denver came with game 101, Oakland +3. Game 131, under 47.5 in the Dallas game. Game 113, Pittsburgh -1.5. Game 109, Houston +6. Game 126, San Francisco -2.5. All right, guys. Good luck to both of you. Jordan, is there anything you want to plug before we let you go?
No, but do you guys you need our strongest player? Are we not doing the
yeah.
anymore?
What's your strongest play? And by the way, I'm writing names down. Do you spell your name JRDAN or do you have the O in that in Jordan?
JORDAN.
Okay, just checking.
Is just
I know. I'm
my
just kidding.
tag.
All right, what's your strongest play?
Game 101 +3.
Game 101. Squid?
Mine will be the Tampa Bay game 122.
Tampa Bay. All right, guys. Good luck. Thank you for participating in this week's Beat the Squid. Take care, Jordan.
Cool. Talk to you guys soon.
All right, see you. And Squid, what's your deal? You're all dressed sharp. Where you headed to?
I got to take care of a thing.
Oh, yeah? All right. VegasSportsBrokers.com is his website. His Twitter handle is @SammyTSquid. And for more information on Vegas Sports Brokers, you can email Sammy the Squid at SammyTSquid@gmail.com. Thanks, Squid.
Yep. I'm excited about the Trojans getting in, huh? Rose Bowl.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Good.
Rose Bowl.
That's going to be a big one. They're going to build on that. Folks, when we come back, we'll be talking to GSP and Cain Velasquez at the same time. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93.
They can drink Mentos-flavored Diet Coke without their stomachs giving a single fuck. They are gorgeous George and Goze. And this is MMA Junkie Radio.
Starting to dislike this laptop, Goze. Either that or our internet connection. Everything was good just a second ago, and then everything went away. What's the deal?
I don't know.
All right, here we go. MMA Junkie Radio, password Bosco. Let's see if I can get in. All right, folks, that was Sammy the Squid and Jordan from Denver participating in this week's Beat the Squid. Meant to ask Squid, damn it, about that college bowl. Remember that was fun last year?
Oh, yeah. Is he going to do it?
He said yes, but I wanted to know how it was going to work. Last year was comped, courtesy of VegasSportsBrokers.com, and I don't know if they're going to do that this year. But not only did everybody go against each other, we also had teams of 4 versus 4 with side bets.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. I thought it was the shit. I came out guns a-blazing because you also had PowerPoints, right, on which games you felt best about. Mm-hmm. And I decided to do all of mine early, so I had an insurmountable lead, what looked like it. And then the day of, the 29th, the 30th, the 31st, there's a ton of games, right? So when those guys came pouring in, they came pouring in. But I had a blast because for 2 weeks I was going, look at you guys, you suck. I'm way out here, you're way down there, And then
talking smack.
They picked up some key games here and there, and then their games became worth 20 plus the win, whereas mine was like just the win and maybe plus 2. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Power rankings or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
It was really, really good time. Cain Velasquez will be able to be followed on Twitter at Cain MMA. George will be able to be followed on Twitter at Georges St Piere. And remember, he's got an S on his Georges St Piere, it looks like, but it's Georges St Piere. So I'll throw that out. And I also want to thank this week's guests because we may go all the way to the wire there with George and Cain. And I don't know if I'll have time to thank everybody, but Lorenz Larkin, Mitch Gagnon, Rico Verhoeven, Stitch Duran, Major Kevin Whitlatch, and Jason the Civilian. I wish I knew his last name. Zach Robinson. James the Civilian. Both of them from the Joint Base Langley Eustis, where we'll be later on tonight. Zach Robinson, who co-authored From the Fields to the Garden with Stitch Duran. Part 2 is out, both on Amazon. Part 2 is on Kindle as well, but I guess they would prefer you get the book.
Well, I would too, because then you can get it signed, right?
Exactly.
It's fun to
have. And again, they're both on Amazon, so get in there and get your hands on one before Christmas time. Maybe give it away as a gift. Stipe Miocic, Joey Diaz, Kimg Mo, Sammy the Squid, and Jordan from Denver. We won't be here tomorrow. We won't be here on Friday either. So we'll be back on Monday to recap all the events that have taken place this past weekend, including UFC Fight Night 102, headlined by Derek Lewis, and UFC 206, headlined by Anthony Pettis and Max Holloway for the UFC featherweight title, interim featherweight title. I guess the winner gets Jose Aldo, but who knows? Until they're in the octagon, you almost kind of roll your eyes at any announcement. And I shouldn't say that because 95% of the time it's what they say or what's promoted, but there's just that wackiness that happens up at the top with, yeah, I hear you.
Tough fights either way. I mean, if you get Pettis and Aldo, isn't that the fight that a couple years ago we were all just going nuts over? Remember at that press conference when it was announced? So you finally get to see that matchup. And then if you get Holloway, I mean, Holloway's on point right now.
Do you think it matters that my phone is working as a hotspot or my iPad's working as a hotspot? It shouldn't, right? It's never affected it before, but I have this new MacBook Air, and I don't know what the hell's going on, but sometimes I'm online, sometimes I'm not. It's throwing me off.
That's right, you can't plug in directly anymore, huh?
I can, actually. I bought this adapter, except I left it at home. I bought this adapter. I looked at it, I go, where the fuck is Ethernet? Oh, sorry, bro. We don't make them like that anymore.
Yeah.
But I asked him, I go, all right, because he told me he's into video editing and stuff like that. I go, hey, when you really need something, do you plug in? He goes, yeah. I go, well, okay, well, then we're not all into it, right? I mean, it's pretty useful. I think you would keep the port, but I guess that's just another reason to sell you another adapter. Now I have to get another charger. It's a mess.
Oh, that's right, huh? If you want to have one at home or one.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to do, man.
Those things aren't cheap, man.
Yeah. All right. Joining us first will be Cain Velasquez, former UFC heavyweight champion. We'll start talking to him, and I think at some point we'll be joined by Georges St Piere, former UFC welterweight champion. But more importantly, right now the big news with both of these gentlemen is they are both part of the Mixed Martial Arts Athletes Association that got founded last week. So it's almost like they're co-founder or one of 5 founders. Big names too: Donald Cerrone, Tim Kennedy, and TJ Dillashaw round out that cast. All right, let's bring them on right now. It's Cain Velasquez. How you doing, Cain?
Hey, good, man. How you doing?
Good. Welcome back to MMAjunkie Radio. You're on with George and Goze. It seems like we haven't talked to you like in 2-3 years. How you been? You still eating tacos de cabeza in San Jose?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's what you spoil yourself with, or is there a new dish? Is there something else? I mean, everybody's palate changes.
Changes, yeah. I mean, I go out and try different stuff here and there. Me being a heavyweight, I can definitely eat a lot better than other guys because I don't have to cut weight. So that's the good thing about being a heavyweight.
All right, I'm proud of you.
I finally tried it, by the way.
Did you?
And it was good, but I didn't order it. That's what they gave me, and I was eating. And I go, hey, this tastes a little different. And then they go, oh yeah, we switched your order, and it turns out that's what I got.
But it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good.
All right. Well, at least the big guy isn't coming in here saying, "Oh, I'm a vegan now" or something. He still has his man card.
No.
Hey, Cain. Listen, man. Last week, huge announcement. You're a co-founder of the MMAAA, which is Mixed Martial Arts Athlete Association. I heard Tim Kennedy do an interview that in 24 hours alone, 120 fighters reached out to him. And I don't know if it was just for questions or to pledge support. What was your phone like, or what's it been like, I guess, first in the initial 24 hours and since then in regards to reaction?
Just a lot of, good responses from other fighters on social media. Just good responses in general. You know what I mean? I think it's time for us fighters to come together and do something like this. And, right now we're in the process of getting all the guys together, get the guys on board and guys out that want to see, a change in the UFC. So far it's a good responses.
If you had to take a guess, from all the positive feedback you've gotten and the other guys, if you were to collectively get together, there was 5 and advisor Bjorn Rebney in LA last week. How many would there be this week? How big do you think the group will have gotten if you could get everyone together in one room? The ones that have said, we're in.
The other guys, obviously, like Tim Kennedy and, Georges St Piere. I mean, those other guys are contacting them, so I'm not really sure how many guys we're having. But from what I hear from, talking to those guys, that we're getting a lot more people on board. We're reaching out to a lot more people, a lot more fighters. So yeah, this is just like the beginning process of it. But we're getting everybody together.
What about just at your gym, or what about just like your homeboy Daniel Cormier? Has that been easy? Support from your nucleus group at AKA, Luke Rockhold, Habib, the other guys. Yeah,
with Habib, he's back in Russia, so I haven't reached out to him. But those other guys, like Luke Rockhold and Daniel, I've talked to Daniel a little bit here and there. So obviously getting those guys on. I think everybody's still a little weary of just because Bjorn's on it with us, and that's what we've heard everywhere, on social media and everywhere else. He's just an advisor that knows, this sport better than anybody else because he was a previous promoter. So that's what he is, and that's what I told the other guys, like Luke and DC. So we'll just take it from there.
I also want to welcome to the show former welterweight champion in the Ultimate Fighting Champion, one of the greatest ever, Georges St Piere. Hey, George, how you doing?
Doing fantastic, thank you.
Welcome back
Hi, guys.
welcome back to MMA Junkie Radio. You're on with George and Goze, and we also have Cain Velasquez here with us. All right, I'm gonna turn it over to my co-host Goze. Goze, what do you have for either GSP or Cain?
So, guys,
or both.
Initially, we heard that the guys that you had there in the room with you, you had that number because you kind of wanted to keep this a little bit under wraps, and then once it came out, more people would join. But that board that you have initially, will there be more slots in that board, or is it just that core and then the fighters join in? Either one of you.
Go ahead, Georges St Piere. If you can answer that one, then we'll have Cain chime in.
We're gonna take more decision. Our goal now is to get more people on, and then after maybe we'll make the other slots. Because we want to have a diversity of different people. In the board, I think it's important to have that diversity. People that come from different background, and I think it's important. So you have a more global view of a real representation of what the fighters are, basically.
George, what would you say when these fighters, when they've come out and spoken to you guys, what's the most common first question that they have for you?
Well, a lot of people are scared because they've been intimidated and they're afraid. And some of them, the question they ask me about Bjorn, I tell them that Bjorn is our tactical strategist. He's the one that make a technical advisor, and because I think it's important to mention Bjorn is important for us because he's been on the other side. He was a promoter before. He was on the other side, so he knows the game very well. His knowledge is very, very important for us, and that's what he brings. He's one of the most knowledgeable guy in the group, I can say, and he knows the other side. So it's very important for us to have him. He's very important to us because he knows the game and he knows the point of view on the other side. So it's important.
GSP, I want to ask you, when you had your meeting in Vegas and you were looking to fight maybe at UFC 206, if that would have went well and they would have met your demands and you'd be fighting this weekend, would you have still been a part of MMAAA?
Yes, I would. It's important for me. It's been a long time, and I think it's not a question of if it would happen. It's a question of when. And I know there's other association going on, and I think we should, instead of going against each other, we should join force and make an alliance. And I think together we could put all our ideas together and be stronger united instead of being separated. Condition, fair. We want assurance. We want a better fair share of salary, and it's the same thing. We want the same thing. So and for me, I do it. I'm not paid to do this. I do it because, to tell you the truth, I wish when I first started my career, someone with a bigger name would have done it. Mm-hmm. But at the time, the infrastructure was not in place and was not possible to do that. Mm-hmm. And now that I can do it, I think it's like the performance enhancing drug problem, and I think it was a problem before even the UFC really wanted to admit it. It was a big problem, and nobody were talking about it. And this is even a more important problem in the sport, because we talk about the something that will change people's lives. Like some guy that when they start fighting, they start their career, and when they finish, they're not even the same person. Some will suffer of dementia. Look at football, what is going on, and it's American football. Now we're talking about fighting, full contact fighting. Football is a game. You play football. Fighting, you cannot play fighting. You every time you step out there, you can go back home not the same person. You could go back with irreparable damage that will stay with you for the rest of your life. And it's important that we will take care for these risks.
And Cain, how about you as an active fighter who's chasing a title shot? You have the fight coming up, and I know you said you have the surgery after that. Hopefully it's a quick recovery, but do you think this could even impact, I guess, your quest for a title? That's kind of always been your number one, goals, is to be a champion and to be a champion again. Since you've been a champion, did you ever think that maybe this could even affect that?
Possibly, but only thing I can do is go out there, and just, try to win, train hard, try to win. The fans know where I should be after this win. So, we'll just put it like that. But, I think this is very important, with all the surgeries that I've had, to not have any post-career health care. And for none of us to have post-career health care, I mean, something that needs to happen, from once we're done, 8 to 10 years after is when we'll see like the harsh effects of, the brain damage that this sport has caused. So, we'll see how bad it gets, once we see more and more guys that are done doing the sport. But to have that help from somebody once you're done, that definitely is the most important, to keep our lives just a little bit easier once we're done. Once we're done, and it's time to relax and enjoy life more, and to have something, that can take care of us. I mean, is just kind of helpful.
We only have a couple of minutes left, so we just have time
to move. When it comes to the UFC, what do you anticipate their next move will be?
Well, I anticipate their move like this. The way I read the situation in public, they will make statement like, "Yeah, we're welcome for that thing to happen because we want to hear what fighters really want and try to help them." But I think underneath, they will call some guys and make them understand and try to intimidate. This has been done before, and some guys. What I can say is, as you are a fighter in the octagon, be a fighter in life, and don't be afraid to stand up for something that is right, for the virtue, because this is something very important, and it's a game changer. If we do it all united, if we unite and we do it all together, it will be a game changer for everybody. And this is something that needs to be done. It will be done. If it's something happening and it's not done right now, it will be done later. But it's going to be done for sure, 100%.
30 seconds, and he was a little hurt that Donald didn't come to him first. How about on your end?
No, nothing yet. Again, we're just focused on getting the guys together, and we're just in the first steps of this whole association. So nothing yet, and right now for me it's just business as usual, just training.
We appreciate all of our guests coming in, and want to thank Daniel for setting that up. All right, so Daniel V. Folks, we're out of here. No shows tomorrow, but there will be replays on Sirius, and of course we'll see you all on Monday. Until then, be champions.
How I wish that there were more than 24 hours in the day, even if there were 40 more.